All right, I had an update on the CumPan display by Baratech for the 690 Enduro. And now that it's complete, it works great. I did, however, run into some issues. This is just going to be I'll try to make this a super quick video, even though I tend to get caught off on tangents all the time. So I'm just going to go over real quick what I did, how I routed it, boom, and then I'll tell you about my issue. So I got the CumPan display. I hate that name, by the way. Jesus. But anyways, it's mounted with some 3M tape to the bottom of the handlebar. It comes with that mount. It recommends you buy the mount. Just buy the mount. It's solid. I mean, that's solid as a rock. So then I run all the wires through where all these other wires go. Goes behind the light. Then they're gonna wrap around like this, because there's a big old gap in the middle, and it's tempting to just be like, oh, good place to put all the wires. No, they don't fit there because this light needs to be able to go there. So you gotta wrap everything around. Then your power taps into the accessory, the two dead accessory plugs. They're just blank, they're just ready to be used. In my case, I already was using them with this Garmin GPS mount. So I had to make a little pigtail. It was easy, it was no big deal. If you can do some basic soldering, anyone can do it. So you have your power going there. And then I ran the rest of the wires through right here. You can kind of see that. This is not this wire, but these ones here. And then one of them is going to drop down, and then I run it along the frame here, all the way down to you can't really see it now because I have the skid plate back on, but it just taps into your coolant drain plug right below your housing here. The rest of the wires run along the frame up here, and then they shoot straight across. And that's going to be for your shift indicator and your RPM. So, see, those guys are messing with that. And then you have an extra wire for oil temperature, which would plug into your tensioner right in here. I didn't get that one. I'm not really that worried about that. I'm more interested in the engine temp. But anyways, you tap into they give you that plug that plugs in between the factory plugs, and then they have their line that is plumbed into it. Now, here's the issue. That was really became kind of a pain in the ass. So this harness here, you have to tap into the wire that comes into it. It's a brown and green wire, I think. On the other side, it's solid white, but it goes all the way down to your shift indicator. So, to get better access to that wire, I unplugged this harness. You know, who cares, right? Big deal. Oh, you have to unplug a harness. It's no big deal. The key was off. Key was off. I didn't unplug the battery. Maybe that's the trick. So I unhooked this harness so I could pull this harness out a little bit more and have a little bit better access to the wire. Because what I did was I soldered I'm just gonna call it the Baratech because the CumPan thing is just, anyways, I soldered the Baratech wire to the gear selector wire, the factory one. Cool. Plugged it back in. All good. It was perfect. So then I come up to here, turn the key over, and the CumPan was saying that the bike was in neutral, but the bike, the factory light was not on. And so I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so the CumPan, the Baratech, it probably needs to be calibrated or something. I don't know. So I try to start the bike, it wouldn't start. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I'm dicking around with the shift lever. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was able to start the bike by pulling in the clutch. And the kickstand was up because it was on the stand. But anyways, long story short, the bike didn't know what gear it was in. So it didn't know it was in neutral. And because of that, you had to pull the clutch in to start it. And if you put the kickstand down at all, or when it was in neutral for real, it would shut off. So come to find out, I guess this is kind of a common issue. I had to bring it to a KTM shop, and they had to reflash it. It cost me $70. It's ridiculous. I don't know what caused that. I mean, the only thing I can think is unplug the battery before you unplug any factory harness. I don't know. It seems ridiculous, but literally all I did with the key off was unplug that harness so I could have easy access to the wire. I soldered in a new wire, no big deal. Plugged it back in and then turned the key on. And the bike, for whatever reason, forgot how to know what gear it was in. So FYI, heads up. I don't, if I were to do it again, I'd unplug the battery just to be safe. Maybe there's some like super low voltage current going through there and it screwed something up. I don't know, but yeah, it was a hassle. Luckily, I have a KTM dealer like 5 miles away, so it wasn't too bad. But other than that, the bike's doing great now. And man, the display is really nice. It's small, just the way you want it. It's not in the way. It's not large and intrusive. It's nice. I mean, the touch screen on it is, it's not super duper sensitive. You're not hitting the wrong stuff. Whoops. Forgot the kickstand was down. So anyways, yeah, no, it works really well. I really like it. Flawless now. But just disclaimer. And you know what? Maybe, Baratech doesn't say anything about that issue happening. And they do give you this little vampire clip that you can stick over the wire, stick the Baratech wire in here and clamp it down. Whatever. I don't really like those things. That's why I just soldered it. But I guess if you just use the vampire clip, you're not going to run into that problem that I ran into, probably, because you're not severing any connection. You just clip it on there. It's really easy. But I like soldering a connection. It's less likely for it to come apart and fail. And then you just put some heat tape over it and shrink that on there, and boom, good to go. So anyway, CumPan. Actually, like I said, I refuse to call it that. I keep calling it that, but the Baratech display is installed. I love it. It's a great addition. It's unfortunate you have to spend, $180 on something like that the bike should come with. Like this bike. Another KTM. A 390 Adventure. Woo-wee. Look at these two. Look at this. Look, I just can't help myself. I just get off on tangents all the time. Anyways, this bike, this quickly. Look at this display you get. Seriously? This bike costs several $1,000s less than this one. And that little green thing is the display you get. Come on, man. I'm not saying I want a TFT display on this, but The old display for the older 690s, pre-19, with the analog RPM and stuff, that was way better than this. I mean, this is total trash. I hate it. But now I got the Baratech. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Don't get me wrong. I think the TFT display on the 390 is way better. But that bike is way more capable. So pick your poison. Peace out.